Hello, welcome to Tile Coach. I'm Isaac Ostrom. I'm really glad you're here with me today. I am coming to you from the Hotel Corazon in Cabo, San Lucas, Mexico. I've noticed here in Mexico, they do some amazing tile work at the resorts, especially when they're working with the stone and travertine. Just beautiful. They must have really good craftsmen. They must really care about the work that they do. So let's check it out. So here on the main pool deck here, they've used this vein cut travertine. The thing that I noticed is how there's no lippage in any of this tile. I mean, it is absolutely dead flush, and how tight the joints are. I mean, you can't slip a piece of paper in between that, and it's just dead flat and no lippage at all. I really like this vein cut travertine. You see, it's also unfilled. They didn't use any fill into the natural holes in the travertine. This is more of a cross-cut travertine. You see here the splotches and circles in it instead of the veins going this way. So they did this transition here. But once again, you can just see how dead flat this is. I mean, it's so nice to walk on. I've been walking around on my bare feet, and of course I just go like this on everything because it's so smooth and nice. I think this might actually be a limestone, but again, in beautiful shape. Here's this staircase that this skirt piece, this apron that they did on the edge. Check this out, look at this detail. I mean, of course, everything has a polished edge on it, but they just really took their time to do this miter step down detail. Something that you don't see in the United States. And then when they got to this corner, check this out, because it goes down like this. I love what they did right here. They miter cut that, flowed the pattern all the way down so that it continues down here. Of course, I notice all of these little details. People who don't do tile might not notice these things, but again, it just attests to someone really taking their time and care to do all this. But yeah, look how flat this is. Everything is just flat. I don't know how they get it this flat, honestly. What they probably do is do a mortar bed. I'm sure that this is set on a mortar bed, and when you float things, you can get the substrate really flat so that all of your tiles are really flat. Obviously, they didn't use leveling clips because there's no way you could fit a leveling clip in this joint. I mean, they're just butt joint. I don't know how they did it. It's got to be mud set. So yeah, if I go down the staircase here, I think it's a brushed limestone. But see how beautiful it is? It's just got like a kind of a low sheen. Not really a honed, because it still has a sheen, and definitely not polished. I haven't been here since my high school senior trip, which was back in 1995. In California, we are surrounded by Mexican culture quite a bit, but actually being in their home and being a guest in their home, it's been a really neat experience. I've realized that the Mexican people, for the most part, are very family oriented, good people, they're sweet people. They really want us here. They want tourists to come. And some of the places that I've gone, like Hawaii, well, really that's it. I haven't traveled much. You know, sometimes you kind of get the feeling like they don't really want you there, like they'll take your money, but they almost look down on you. Mexico is kind of completely different. You really get the feeling like they want you here, which is nice. It's a nice, hospitable, welcoming feeling. And to be able to go get street tacos down in the city was incredible. I mean, the food is just amazing. You know, we had our kids down here. Legal drinking age is 18 years old, and they got to have a really good time. You know, there's just not as many. One thing I noticed too is there's just not as many, like, there's rules. So it's kind of like the Wild West. I like to have freedom, being able to be given the choice to do what you want to do, and you just have that kind of sense of feeling where it's your own responsibility to take care of yourself, not necessarily a government or their laws. But anyway, so they had a blast. My whole family's had a really good time. If you're considering a vacation and you want to come somewhere warm, the weather has just been incredible. It's been perfect. The weather has been like, it hasn't been too hot, definitely hasn't been too cold. The nighttime lows have gotten into like the 65. The daytime highs hover between like 75 and 80. And there's usually a breeze. You can see there's kind of a cool breeze right now going through. It's a dry climate. It's kind of like desert climate. So it's not humid. There's no bugs. Very clean. Really, really nice weather. I mean, it's just incredible. You really couldn't ask for better weather, especially here. Today's December 27th. When a lot of our country this past week has been inundated with like subarctic temperatures. It's just been really amazing. I guess the only, maybe some of the negatives, right? I've given you all the positive. If you want to walk out in the city, if you want to be on the beach, a lot of people are trying to sell you stuff, and it can be a little bit, it's just constant. It's kind of constant. Somebody is always trying to sell you everything from like blankets and goods and toys and hats, sunglasses, everything from that, going up to like trying to sell you timeshares and vacations and activities, you know, like ATVs or scuba diving or snorkeling, or I mean, there's tons of activities, but it's very, very competitive on the sales part. So you're constantly barraged with to buy something, and after a while you kind of get used to it, and you just because you don't want to be rude, you don't want to just like, you know, blow people off, because usually when people come up to talk to me, obviously I want to be polite and talk to them, but you just have to kind of get to a place where you don't make eye contact with them, and just keep going about your day, because otherwise it'll just be constant. But that's really the only things you need to watch out for. The town feels very safe, much safer than I would feel in like my hometown of Sacramento. It's awesome. I highly recommend you guys coming down here, experiencing the Mexican culture, the Mexican people, the Mexican food, the Mexican weather, and of course, the Mexican tile work. So I got to get going. I got to get back up to the hotel room. We're packing up and flying back to California today. Before I go, I love you. I love being your tile coach. We'll see you on the next video.